to invite you for this press briefing in relation to the Rotary Cancer Run. My name is 𝙃𝙗𝙤𝙞𝙾𝙂𝙧𝙤𝙞𝙀. I am speaking on behalf of the chairperson of the organizing committee, 𝙂𝙧𝙤𝙤𝙀𝙗, who is sick and is not here, but is following this event as well. With me here is the president of the Rotary Club of Masindi, 𝙂𝙈𝙾𝙾𝙾𝙾. Also have our PR, Rotarian 𝙆𝙾𝙾𝙾𝙾, and then we have members who are our partners, representing our partners, national partners, but also the local partners. We have a representative from the 𝙁𝙁 Masindi, who are going to work with us tomorrow during the run. They will be screening cancer and other related issues. We have Crystal, who are giving us the water. They are oiling our energies during the run across the country. So the representative from Masindi area is here with us. And then we have a road tractor and an interactor. So the road tractors represent some particular age of people around tertiary institutions or between workforce and tertiary institutions. And then we also have an interactor who is representing secondary schools. So for you, my colleagues, the partners with us here is the media house from Masindi. We have those who are doing online screening of news. We have radios. I think all the radios are here represented. We have the chief executive also of the Journalists Association in Masindi. We also have the president. But also we have representatives of the Daily Monitor and the other national channels that are here. So this is going to be about a 45 minutes or 1 hour at most press briefing. Basically, we are sharing information to the media houses so that between now and tomorrow, they can package the right information to the community, either through news bulletins or through sessions that they may like to share. And we will have about 3 or 4 schedules of our briefing. We'll talk about the background of the cancer. This is our 12th run since we started. And then we'll also look at what so far we've done from the time when we started. We thought this is very important for the media houses to know, because so that they can then report from the factual point of view. And then it also allows the people, the listeners out there, to know that the money that they give does not only do small things, but it's actually doing big. That every time we are contributing through buying the kits, actually people think we buy kits. No. What I actually do is the 30,000 shillings you pay, you are registering, you are actually contributing towards the what? Towards the run, or you are contributing towards the cause. So let's also look at why are we actually running, and then we'll look at what is it there tomorrow from our partners like 𝙁𝙁, so that people in the community, when they come at the MTN Arena where we are running from, they know what is it medically packaged for them. Is it the cancer or the cervix? Is it the prostate cancer? All that will come through the doctor. And then the oiler, the water people are here to assure you that the water is enough, so you don't have an excuse. But also to give you information that you should begin drinking today, so that your body is hydrated. And then we will also now look at the routes for tomorrow and also share the program of how we are going to start. So basically, I think that's how our program is going to run this afternoon. So without wasting time, I think let me hand in to the president to welcome you people officially, but also most importantly, to share with you our journey of the cancer run, what so far it has done. In that order. Thank you so much. PAG Jack Stanley. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you all to this press conference. My colleagues, the Rotarians, our partners present from 𝙁𝙁 and Crystal Water. We have the road tractors and interactor, the media fraternity, you're most welcome. My name is 𝙂𝙧𝙤𝙀𝙗𝙂, who is the president of Rotary Club Masindi for this Rotary year 2023-2024. We are all here to share what is happening, and what is happening is none other than the Cancer Run program. People may ask themselves, what is the Cancer Run? Rotary established the Cancer Run as a vehicle for mobilizing resources that will enable us fight against this killer disease, cancer. We are all aware that cancer is on the rise, and it is affecting quite a number of people, like our doctor will elaborate on. This program started in 2012, where we had our first run, and in the first run we were able to realize 68 million Ugandan shillings. Every year the run takes place about this time, and quite a number of good achievements have been realized. For this year, throughout our country, we are going to have the run tomorrow, Sunday, 27th, and the national function is going to be held at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds, and then throughout the cities and major towns of the country, there will be mini runs there. For us in Masindi, we shall all converge at MTN grounds in Masindi town for the run. The key activity tomorrow that will be held will be the run itself. We shall also have aerobics, and then, like earlier on mentioned, there will be cancer screening. In particular, cervical cancer and prostate cancer will be done free of charge, and we are encouraging members of the public to turn up in big numbers for that offer. And breast cancer will be done at a subsidized cost of only 15,000 shillings. And when you consider this amount of money, I think it is a real offer, courtesy of TASO Masindi. We shall also have HIV counseling and testing taking place. And then we shall also have talks about cancer by professional people. Why are we conducting this cancer run? The main purpose is to create hope for the cancer victims. Hope in which way? As we talk right now, Rotary has constructed a 36-bed cancer treatment ward at Nsambya Hospital using the money that we realized from the run. On top of that, it has also fully equipped the ward with equipment which is worth over $150,000. We have started the construction of 2 bunkers that will house 2 linear cancer testing and treatment machines. The first phase is already complete. Through the run, we managed to contribute 200 million Ugandan shillings towards the Rotary Blood Bank, which is at Mengo Hospital. So our appeal here is that members of the public, members of the community who feel for cancer cases in the country to come up tomorrow and join us for the run.
It will be a fun run, and it will also be part of maintaining or keeping ourselves healthy as we raise funds for the construction of our hospital in Zambia. Thank you so much. Can hand you over to
Questions?
yeah. Welcome questions if you have.
Yeah.
Maybe I was go to him
Yes.
mostly on the cases of cancer. Locally in Masindi, about percentage, and maybe during the last screening, how many cases did they register? Did you register out of how many results? Or maybe out of the results you conducted, how many turned out positive? And maybe also if possible, we can also go to national level. We compare national and the Masindi. And maybe you can also tell us the signs and symptoms of cancer. Maybe the public, how can someone know that maybe I have cancer, or maybe I'm developing cancer for the public consumption? And maybe and what causes cancer, and how can someone prevent it?
All right, thank you so much. My name is Dr. Masindi Rotary. I work with the TASO Masindi, and we are partnering closely with the Rotary Club of Masindi to organize this cancer run, which is going to take place tomorrow. I'll first talk about briefly what is cancer, because that is something that we need to also not take for granted. So in brief, cancer means that part of the cells in your body have actually undergone some changes, and they refuse to die at the time they are supposed to die. So they keep multiplying, yet actually they are supposed to die, because every person's body is programmed in such a way that their body cells, they live a particular period. After that period, they have to die and they get replaced by new ones. Now in cancer, what happens is that the message which tells the cells to die becomes abnormal, and the cells refuse to die, so they keep multiplying. So why I had to first give this background is to clear the air, because some people think that actually cancer is contagious. When there is a cancer victim, they fear to come close at that person, but cancer is not a communicable disease. It can't move from one person to another. There are very many types of cancers, but the cancer which is actually responsible for most of the cancer deaths in the whole world is breast cancer. That is followed by prostate cancer, lung cancer, and then what we call colorectal cancer. These are cancers of the large intestines and what we call the rectum. What we have been doing here in Masindi, I'll particularly I'll first talk about the picture at TASO, because as we are aware, there has been no deliberate effort to have people screened for cancer. It is good that Rotary is bringing this up. Now, what has been taking place in the Masindi district, for example, the partners that support in the treatment of HIV, they have been supporting in the screening for cervical cancer specifically. And we have been focusing especially on people who are living with HIV, because women who are living with HIV also stand a higher risk of getting what we call invasive cancer of the cervix. That is the 𝙆𝙪𝙣 form of cervical cancer. So, according to our experience at TASO Masindi, out of every 100 people we have been screening, we've been finding about 10 of them positive. Now, I'll talk about that positivity, but in the interest of time, I'll just give a difference between screening for cancer and making a cancer diagnosis. Screening means that we are carrying out a certain test or some form of examination to check for early signs of a cancer. There is also what we call pre-cancer. Sometimes we do these tests and this examination is not to diagnose the cancer, but to detect that there is a sign that in the future, if something is not done for this particular person, they are going to develop cancer. So we capture the early stages before even the cancer develops. So that's what we call screening. So we have been screening for cervical cancer and the positivity rate has been at about 10%. Now, other cancers like breast cancer, prostate cancer, lung cancer, there have been no deliberate efforts to have these cancers screened. Now, Rotary has come up with this arrangement to have people screened tomorrow, but also to create awareness. So tomorrow we are going to be educate people about breast cancer, because, for example, breast cancer can also be screened through self-examination. We teach women how to check their breasts. If there is something abnormal they are feeling, they come now for further examination. But also those ones who will be qualifying for a scan, we shall be scanning their breasts, like Serida said. Now, prostate cancer, we shall be doing a blood test for a particular age group, that is men above 40 years. And then we shall also be doing HIV testing. So the other thing I want to talk about is, why do we have to screen for cervical cancer or for prostate cancer or for breast cancer? Now, there is something that I personally use. It is just my personal term. Diseases which are silent and diseases which are not silent. So most cancers are silent in a way that by the time you start seeing the signs and symptoms, it is in advanced stages and nothing can be done apart from prayers. Technically, we call that one palliative care. We just pray and encourage somebody so that they die peacefully. Yet actually there was an opportunity to screen this person early, to detect this cancer early, or even to detect it before it develops into a cancer, such that this person can be prevented from, first of all, catching cancer. That is very possible, for example, for cancer of the cervix. Now, for other cancers, when you get it in early stages, it is curable. We just cut off that piece which has become a cancer, and the rest of the body remains when it is okay. So, the importance of early screening is early detection, because in early stages, some cancers are curable. Now, if it is captured or if it is diagnosed in late stages or what we call advanced stages, those cancers are not curable, and the person can only be prayed for so that they die peacefully. So, it is very, very important for us to screen for cancers so that we continue living longer.
Maybe what are the foodstuffs that can maybe we say prevent someone from developing cancer? So maybe which type of food should someone with cancer supposed to eat? It's like you say, for example, if you have AIDS, you can eat fruits, greens. What of someone who has cancer? Because I believe we have people who have cancer here, but they don't know what they are supposed to eat.
Mine is, maybe I'd like to know whether cancer is genetic, and also those stages and what it means.
My name is Stephen Wandera. I would like to know why cancer cases on the rise, and if these causes are visible, are there ways how the community can prevent itself from cancer cases?
Thank you so much. My name is 𝙂𝙧𝙤𝙗𝙖𝙗𝙂. I would like to know, have you tried some ways of reaching out to the community to inform them about this information on how cancer is spread, how it can be treated, and how it can be eliminated from society? Have you tried some ways as Rotary Club to reach out to the community apart from running?
Yeah, on the same case, I would also like to ask. You have said that when it reaches a certain stage, sometimes you cut off. If you realize it early, you cut off some parts. Assume now it's some serious parts, like the nose, delicate parts like the nose.
That's what he wants to do.
That's what he wants to ask.
All right, thank you so much for those questions. The first question was, which foods should we eat and which ones should we not eat? There is no, there's nothing much common for which is actually covering all the cancers. But the foods to eat for somebody who is having already cancer, we'll just still emphasize a normal balanced diet. There's nothing unique that we can say that you eat this one, don't eat this one. So there is no scientific evidence to segregate foodstuffs for somebody who is having cancer. And now somebody asked whether, of course there are some, you may find some videos or some articles on the internet talking about some foods that you should avoid to prevent some cancers. Scientifically, that has not been proved, except for some few cancers. I'll talk about, for example, cancer of the liver, what we call hepatocellular carcinoma. The grains that we eat, talk of nuts, talk of maize, if they are not kept well, if they are kept in a moist environment, there is a chemical called aflatoxin which can accumulate in those grains, and aflatoxin has been associated with development of cancer of the liver. So, and that is something I think I should emphasize. We should keep our grains in a moisture-free environment. And also, before you take the groundnuts for grinding, make sure that they are sorted. You remove those ones which have developed mold. They accumulate a chemical called aflatoxin. So about foodstuffs, I think I can stop there and I go to whether cancers are genetic or not. Very many cancers are genetic. There is a strong correlation. I'll talk of cancer of the breast. If a woman is born to a mother who has suffered from breast cancer before, or maybe they have succumbed to breast cancer, the chances of that woman or the chances of the child to that mother of developing cancer of the breast are much higher. Also, if a woman has a sibling who has suffered from cancer of the breast, the chances of the sister also getting cancer of the breast are also much higher than for the rest of the population. So most cancers have a genetic predisposition. There are also other cancers called leukemias. These are cancers of the blood. So cancers of the blood also have a very, very strong genetic link. They move in families. But also some factors in the environment can increase the chances of somebody developing those cancers. However, there are some cancers which are due to infections, like cancer of the cervix and cancer of the penis. Cancer of the cervix, which is one of the most common cancers, is caused by an infection which is sexually transmitted called the human papillomavirus. So if you are talking about prevention of cancer of the cervix, for example, we can talk of the ways of prevention of HIV, prevention of sexually transmitted infection, because HPV, which causes cancer of the cervix, is transmitted sexually. So we have to use protection, yes, and for it, it is more aggressive, whereby even if you put on a condom, it can be transmitted on the tests. It can go into the tests, and again it moves from maybe from one woman to a man, then it goes to another woman, even when you are using condoms. So the issue of fidelity now becomes very, very important. But the other prevention which the government has actually put up is vaccination of young girls who are not yet sexually active. They get a vaccine for cancer of the cervix. Now, other cancers, talk of cancer of the ovary, cancer of the breast. These ones, there are some other behaviors which reduce the chances of getting some of these cancers. When you talk of cancer of the breast, for example, cancer of the uterus, these cancers, if somebody produces more children, their chances of getting breast cancer and cancer of the uterus and cancer of the ovaries, they somehow reduce. They get their risk of catching these cancers reduce. The details of the science I may not go into it now, but also some family planning methods like the injection also reduces chances of somebody developing cancer of the uterus and cancer of the breast. Whereas there are some other family planning methods like some tablets which can increase instead the chances of developing those cancers. So we need to consult our health workers when we are making these choices. The stages of cancer, they are what we call early stages and advanced stages. If somebody has cancer of the skin, for example, it can be like a pimple. It can start as a pimple. And then you find that if that pimple is checked early, if I'm to use that word, we technically use the word a nodule, but I wanted to borrow the word pimple so that we all understand. So if there is a bump on the skin, which you are not understanding where it has come from, you go and ask a doctor or any professional health worker. You can ask them, what is this? So if the cancer is still at that level, when it's just a small pimple, and we pick a small sample and we confirm that it is a cancer, we just cut off that pimple or that nodule, and the cancer will stop there. It will go away. But if it delays, it will grow and involve the skin, the muscles, then it enters blood. When it enters the blood now, something which was maybe on the face or on the finger, it will spread throughout the whole body. You will find, we call it seeding. It can seed the brain, it goes to the intestines, it goes to the liver, it goes to the lungs, everywhere. So you find that now, those are the people who cannot be treated. They can't now cure. So those are the stages of cancer. In other words, how advanced is the cancer that is actually affecting this particular patient. Why cancers are on the rise? The first response to that is probably because the diagnosis of cancers is becoming now much more available to the public. Because if the diagnosis is not available, you cannot diagnose cancer. But cancers have been present for quite a long time, except there were no methods of diagnosis, so people were not being diagnosed of cancer. So that is one thing which may make the statistics to look a bit, to give a picture that the cancers are on the rise. But also lifestyle. I've talked of cancers which are caused by sexually transmitted infections. Maybe now sexually transmitted infections are on the rise. For example, if there is more spread of HPV through sexual intercourse, even in cancer of the cervix, the chances of it increasing will be on a higher rise. But most of the cancers up to now, people die without getting a diagnosis because the diagnosis is still expensive compared to what most of the people are able to afford. It depends on the cancer that we are talking about. You know, now we use the word cancer, but every cancer behaves totally different from another. Yes. So if we are to use, for example, if we are to use let me talk of skin cancer. If you are to pick a sample from a lesion, we use the word a lesion, or we can call it a wound. If somebody has a lesion on the skin and we think it is cancer, if you are to pick a piece of meat from there, which you call a biopsy, if you have to pick a piece of meat for examination in the laboratory, most laboratories which offer that service, they are in the range of 85,000 shillings to 150,000 shillings to check whether it is cancer or not. But that price is quite variable. If you are talking about cancer of the bones, it is a different story. The price is a bit higher. If you're talking of cancer of the blood, examining that blood to tell us whether there is cancer or not, the price can go as high as 300,000, 400,000. So every cancer behaves different. When you talk of cancer of the ovaries, that is now much more expensive because we have to open inside there and you get. So the prices are quite variable based on the type of cancer. And then the efforts to sensitize the community about cancer, I think that one can best be answered by my colleagues. I think either the president or the PR leader.
There's still a question if it's on a serious part.
Oh.
Yeah. Then the other one was also a question. What?
Yes.
What were you saying?
Same question.
Hey,
Yes.
Actually,
I think it was us.
he's
He was
asking.
answering for genetic.
He has another one.
Yeah, there was actually some argument between some youth. They wanted to know whether masturbation can also cause prostate cancer.
Thank you so much. There is no scientific evidence linking masturbation to prostate cancer. One of the risk factors for prostate cancer, which we cannot run away, it is natural, is being a man, because you have a prostate. So every man has a certain risk of developing prostate cancer. Then, a man who grows and he exceeds 40 years of age is also at a risk of developing cancer of the prostate.
Can you help us and inform us on the dangers of masturbation?
On the dangers of masturbation. Now, in the medicine or in science generally, we talk using evidence. So there is no evidence which is implicating masturbation as causing, not even linking masturbation to erectile dysfunction. That is what I want to specifically clear out. There is no research which has been conducted and it confirms that there is a relationship between masturbation and erectile dysfunction.
So the parts?
Now, those key parts on the body, it all depends on the consent of the person, but the only cure for the cancers is to cut off the part which is affected. However, some people may decline the operation and they choose to die. There was a very famous artist that I will not mention who succumbed to cancer because he refused to have a body part cut off because of the religion. So it depends on the consent of the person. But if it is, whether it is cancer of the penis, cancer of the skin, cancer of the prostate, cancer of the cervix, if it is still in early stages, there is a chance for cure if that part is cut off. But that one depends on whether the patient has accepted or they have not accepted. Thank you.
So much Cindy in our community and Rotary in general. First of all is we purpose to raise awareness because we believe that our people do not know that Rotary has come out with this run as the cancer run as an intervention. As Rotary, we have purpose to partner with different organizations like TASO in Masindi. I can also mention Masindi District Health Office and Kitara Medical. We are looking at all these. We are looking at partnering with these medical facilities in order to reach out to the people of the communities out there. We tell them the information which the doctor has been sharing with us, because there are very many people outside there who do not know who just do not know this information. There are many people who are suffering from cancers actually, or others who are fearing to go for diagnosis because they think the money is a lot. Bringing on board partners such as this is going to help to unlock some of the myths out there, which we believe have remained unlocked. If we unlock them, we believe that the people will get help from the medical facilities, and then maybe we can reduce the statistics of people suffering from cancer in Masindi. Then also on a whole, through the cancer run, we are targeting to cut on costs of treatment all over. If you go to the cancer ward at Nsambya, the cost of treatment in that ward is much lower than the cost of treatment elsewhere in Uganda. This is because of this facility and the services raised there was achieved thanks to the members of the public and the people who have been participating with us in these consequent cancer runs. So we believe that if we can continue these runs, we'll have more people coming on board. I mean, we'll continue to raise more money and eventually offer more support or more treatment and at a subsidized fee to people who cannot afford it. Then lastly, we through this cancer run still, we are targeting to build the capacity of staff. We are we get grants from there is what we call global grants. So we get grants and through those grants we are able to train staff who offer some of these services either free or at a subsidized cost still, just like he has explained to you about the variances in the costs.
I have one question.
Yes, please.
Last year, out of the successful cancer run, what was achieved in terms of fight against cancer in Masindi or the county plan?
Okay. Thank you so much. Last year, you see, just like the president explained when we were starting, the cancer run is a project that we are undertaking in not only to benefit the people in our community, but to benefit the entire country at large. Last year we received a question, people are asking, why did you have to put the ward in Kampala at Nsambya and not in Masindi? The reason was simple. Nsambya Hospital donated land to Rotary as its contribution towards our cause. So when they gave us money, when they gave us land, we decided to put our ward in that place. How have the people of Masindi benefited? Part of the blood that is donated countrywide through or on these cancer run days comes back to Masindi and is being used in our medical facilities. Then also another achievement that we received last year is in our region. For us, we called in our zone. Our zone is Chigumba, Masindi, Hoima, and Chibuga. Masindi ranked top, and in one of the lists that stand out as they were looking at top contributors in our region, Masindi emerged top of that list. So this year we are looking at making it better. We are looking at raising more funds as we collect funds to give to the people, as we collect funds to build our bunker. For us as the Rotary Club of Masindi, we want to educate our people. We are more focused on raising awareness in our community. People should know that they can be diagnosed. There is free cancer screening at TASO and some of these medical facilities. And then they should also know that after getting screened, they can always go and get a subsidized treatment somewhere in Kampala, courtesy of the Rotary Cancer Run.
Maybe my last question. I would like you to brief us on tomorrow's roadmap. And what does it take for someone participate in that run.
And maybe lastly on that, you talked of the international community, okay, the global community helping to sponsor for the fight against cancer through Rotary. Do we have local communities around or national organizations around also helping to put in the fund to fight against cancer?
Maybe also tell us who shall preside over tomorrow's event.
Okay, let my colleague address your question first, then I'll come in with with how we are going to arrange the preparations for tomorrow.
Okay, thank you so much for your questions. When the President was giving you the statistics of the money so far where we have reached, you noticed he said that this year alone we are raising about 1.3 billion shillings. 1.5 billion shillings.
Target, yes.
That's a target. And this is premised on the fact that last year we raised about 1.3 billion.
Yes.
Yes, but the year before, because it was a virtual run, the figures are very low. Not so many people were able to participate. Most of these monies are coming from the different organizations. You see, even when Crystal gives you water like this, it is quantified in terms of what? In terms of money. When you individuals buy, register to participate in the run, that is money that is also added together. So we have partners like the New Vision, the Centenary Bank. Over the last 5 years, I think has sunk in about 1.5 billion, but they spread this money every year, about 300 something million shillings that they put into this run. So the New Vision putting some money. We have other partners that if you have got your kit, you can be able to see, I think, somewhere behind, quite the Parliament of Uganda. They're the biggest contributors in terms of local institutions. They make a huge contribution at every MP, and that's where the benefit of the big numbers of MPs now comes to you. Previously, we'd be crying that the numbers are many, but now their big numbers is advantageous to this cause. So they are one single entity that for the past maybe 8 years or so, that have been hugely contributing to the cause of that run. But locally here, you see, for us to put a successful run, for all these monies that you use to register, none of it remains here. We send it 100% to the head office. But you know the activities, Red Earth has given us space here. That is their contribution they are making. On a good day, this sitting would have cost us like about 100,000 shillings, you know. Even a media for you to come here, I'm sure there will be money for border, or maybe fuel for that matter. It is your contribution. Because normally when we are doing business, if I call you for press briefing with Kiema, there will be a huge budget. But I'm sure that kind of budget is not being asked here. All we want is that we work through you people so that we can reach the mainstream community, okay? And that is your contribution to this cause. So similarly, we have the UPDF participating tomorrow. We have TASO, like they have said, as one of our local content people here. UPDF will be here. The Uganda Police will be here. The Police Training School. Then there are companies like Kinyara that have made their staff to participate in the run, and that's their contributions into this run. So basically that is that. But also, I wanted to expand on what you said, building capacities. We sent a team, the Rotary sent a team of people to go and train. You know, medical training is 3, 4, 5 years, like he will tell you. So there are people. I think in the 2018 run, the whole money was gazetted to send people who can train and become medics and doctors in the field of what? Cancer management. So the target is that once the bunkers are constructed and the facilities are ready, we also have the human personnel that is ready to begin managing the cases. But the other capacity is also, like now you heard him talking about human papillomavirus, those things. I'm sure we know them, but we cannot explain. Or if we explain, people like Joe will not even believe that we explain the right things. So our contribution here is to bring technical people like the doctor on board to build your capacities as journalists. So that when you are communicating with the community, you're also communicating from point of information. So you know that even you know masturbation now has no relationship with cancer. or if it has, it is not known. You know, so that's what the doctor answered one of your questions, right? Yeah. So, but for us as a Rotary, we're not having a person to say you continue it or don't do it. Ours basically is to let you know that when a medical person like speaks to you like this, because on a good day, Musisi here would be paid. Would be paid to address these kind of things. You know, you want that information, you pay. You go to his clinic, then he educates. But he also has a human heart, and the organization also works with the community. So they say, through Rotary we can work and reach out to the people. And now today you've been able to hear this contribution from the horse's mouth. Now we also have, on top of this, by the way, this run is not only here. There are people who have bought kits at the same rate, but they're running in other parts of the world. There are guys running in the UK, there are guys I know who are students somewhere and they are studying and they have bought their kits, they are running as a group. And that's their contribution. But globally also there are institutions that contribute to us, like, how they call this, is it pharmaceutical, this thing that is for Emmanuel Katongole. Quality chemicals. Yes. They are one of the organizations that have also supported this kind of cause. So it is very, very important, and I think that is the question that you maybe ask. I hope I've answered it very well. Yes. So, and thank you so much. Maybe in the interest of saving time, can I now take them through the route, then you give us the program? So tomorrow we have got 3 routes. We have the 21 kilometers, we have the 10 kilometers, and then we have the 5 kilometers. I know across the country the 5 kilometers registers the biggest number of people, and this is simply because we don't have the culture of exercise. And we are urging members, you're not running to compete. You are running to take, actually the more you take on the route, the more likely you are to raise awareness. Because now it means you'll meet more people on the way, and they want to ask themselves, actually, why is this person running? And then maybe that way they get interested in knowing the cancer. They talk about cancer, you know. So the 21 kilometers, the route chart starts from, all our runs starts from MTN. From MTN, you run to this, I've forgotten the road, it's called Livingston something. Yes, Aston Drive, up to the Presidential Lodge. Then you move through Rehoboth, but you take the lower route. You don't go to Kawalega Secondary School. You go back to Fillmore, okay? From Fillmore, you turn on the right facing Kijura. When you reach police, you continue to Kigumba Road. From Kigumba Road, you pass Kawalega, you pass the Quarter Guard, then you take the Tarmac Road. We also want people to know the beauty of Masindi. So you reach somewhere down there, there's that road on Tarmac, Katama Road, yes, to Kijura. So you come out at Railways or former UEB, you know, and then you turn on your right, proceeding to Hoima through Oil Energy, go to St. Matthew's, you know. It was deliberate so that maybe as people at the church, they also see you. So you go to St. Matthew's, you reach mile 2, you leave the Kinyara Road and specifically follow Hoima Road. Reach Kihande, you reach Nyamugisa stage. That stage, the road going to the church. Yes. And for you continue to Hoima, up to the road on your left that connects to Ihungu. Yes. Then you take that road and you move up to Kisengia. You pass Kisengia Road up to Kikwani. Then you leave the one going to Busy and you turn on your left through Kamuras PTC to Kamuras Demonstration Primary School up to Kirasa at the Tarmac, at the humps. Yes, that's the Kampala Road. Now from there you run straight through prisons up to MTN Center. That place is 21.03 kilometers. And it's for few men.
Like us.
Yes. Then the 10 kilometers where I expect us to try to run. You start from MTN grounds, you move past Total, Kampala Road, you take the Kolping Road, go up to, past this place, you know, here, yes, here like this.
You don't know.
Radius.
BBS.
Okay, yes, BBS, then you continue Presidential Lodge. This time you now go to Kawalega. Okay? From Kawalega, you still take the same road. No. No, actually, we made it the opposite direction. This is how you run. You begin from here, MTN, Kolping, behind BBS. Okay? Via Radio 7. No, okay, not Radio 7, but behind Kolping. That road. You go straight to Beckham. That's how you skip it, Beckham, then you take left as you're going to prisons. When you reach prisons, you go like you're going to staff quarters of prisons. Then you take the upper road through Wananchi Clinic up to Centenary Bank. Then you turn your left as if you're going to Link, actually reach Link, Tank Street. And you go up to Yeso Fire Restaurant, where Joel likes eating. And then you take the road down, that Kijunjuba Road, up to Nyamugisa. So when you reach Nyamugisa, there's that V junction. You don't go to the church. You take the lower part, okay? Though even if you get lost up the church, the difference is slight. So you move up to Nyamugisa Hoima Road. And then you first now coming to Kihande, up to through mile 2, up to the road of Kisita. Then you take the St. Matthew's Road. St. Matthew's, Wax, Courtview, Town Council, and then you join that Kampala Road and go to MTN. So that is the 10-kilometer road. Then the 5-kilometer road, I seem to forget it, but you start from MTN. Yes.
MTN.
You go through this Aston Drive, through Kawarega, to Katama, that road, Kijura, Umeme, and then you just come back straight on the main up to MTN grounds. It has few bends, and we have 8 water points. Some of them will be shared. Some of the water points are shared, like the ones at Kisita at mile 2 is shared, the one around Kijura is shared, the one around the prisons is shared. It is only maybe the one in Kabarwana, Ihungu, those ones are specifically for the 21 kilometers. And at each point of this place, there's either a road tractor and a UPDF officer who will be at the water points. The UPDF officers are going to be dressed in their army fatigue. That's how we agreed with them. So they'll be on those points so that there's a little bit of order and respect for people. But also, the Crystal team has a team of ushers that will be able to join. Actually, they're the ones who are going to give out the waters. The other ones are to maintain order, just in case there is indiscipline by other people, but also to give direction to the runners. During the run, for each of the run, except maybe the 5 kilometers, there will be an ambulance following. However, for each of the routes, there is a traffic lead motorcycle to direct traffic and to follow. So we expect that the motorcycles will be ahead and that the ambulance will be behind. Where there are cases that need to be evacuated, they'll bring them back maybe to a central point and then still go back on the route. But usually, they will be the last vehicle to sweep. Most times these are hamstring injuries, and they are, unless otherwise, those can be managed while you're in the vehicle. They can actually manage you, and then in the process you still jump out of the vehicle and be able to continue finishing the race. But also we request from now, before you take which race you are going to run, you need to check your health conditions. If you haven't been running for a long time, you may need to go for the lower, for the shorter routes. But also there's what is called jerry running. Jerry running means you can walk, run. The target is for you to finish the race. Like for me, I have a staff who has just recently lost her left breast to cancer. So my target is to run for her. And so I don't mind whether I take 8 hours, but I must finish the what? The race. So that is what we want everybody to know, that we're running. As the Rotary Club of Masindi, we lost a member who, by the way, everything had been done in terms of investment on her. She even went as far as going to India. Unfortunately, she was not able to leave. So naturally, all the members of the Rotary Club of Masindi will be running for Agnes Nanyonje. And that is it. So we have this in our community. We have people like Hope, Tuina Masiko, we know her, of the other school. She is also a cancer survivor. and 𝙂𝙧𝙤𝙘𝙗𝙗 also the same. We lost Pinchwa's wife. So you have many people around the community that you can be able to run for. And that is the motivation that we want to have. And then be able to take these messages home. Now, as we are reaching the age 40 and above, the chances that also prostate cancer may be setting if you're a man, like from a doctor's perspective, is true. So you're also running for your health. You're also running to ensure that you can be able to check. But most importantly, maybe you didn't say that when you do reasonable exercise, I think you're able to fight cancer as well. It's generally good. Yeah, yeah, but that doesn't mean that the other habits may not get you. You know. So thank you so much. So the program, I think. Yes, there's a question.
Maybe the set of time.
7 a.m.
And how are they going to participate? Will they go at once, 5 kilometers?
No.
Or not specified?
That's part of the program that is going to read to you. But just a quick one is that we expect everybody to assemble there by 7 a.m. And then, yes. Okay, 6:45. Okay, 7 a.m. We expect that the usher, they call them what, the chief runner, whom is going to announce, should be able to usher in the team, because the 21 kilometers will first leave, and then in a space of about 10 minutes, the 10-kilometer guys will also leave, and finally, the walkers or the 5-kilometer runners then will be able to leave last, something like that. So our program is this. Arrival and registration begins as early as 6:30. The team will be there by 6:30, and we hope that we don't sleep in the club. There was a time when people slept in the club. There was a boxing tournament between Joshua Anthony and somebody, and the people, we sold a lot of kits in the club. But when time came for running, we couldn't see the 300 people who bought the kits. So let's try to pass on the message that people come when they're fresh. It's also advisable that you take enough sleep before you go for the run. So there'll be warm-up exercise. There'll be aerobics for about 20 minutes or so to make sure your body and muscles are ready for the run. And then the flagging off starts in the intervals from 7 a.m. We expect even the slowest walker or runner, for that matter, to have arrived by 9 a.m. That's our anticipation, that at worst case, the 21 kilometer, the lowest person should run 2 hours minimum. So in any case, people can walk even 2 hours, 21 kilometers. So by 9, we do aerobics, then we'll have a welcome remarks from the president. We shall have a health talk. We shall have our chief runner give his remarks. Our chief runner is Honorable MP for the municipality, Honorable Joab. And but meanwhile, as all this is happening, much as the program we have for medical screening, but we expect that medical screening will be continuous. Some people may choose to start it as early as 8:30, but the team for them will be there. And then we will have recognition of sponsors after the chief. Then we'll have closing remarks from the council and chair. And after that, we'll then be able to depart. But the team for medical will continue, and the Rotarians will remain on ground. But other people can be able to go and do their personal things. So I think basically that's the program period, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So we thank you so much. I don't know if there are more questions or a word from you. Yes, from the sponsor.
Thank you so much. I'm called Joseph Yarhanga, and I'm the area sales manager of 𝙂𝙧𝙤𝙞𝙗𝙗, International, commonly known as 𝙂𝙧𝙤𝙗𝙗. And I'm here on behalf of 𝙂𝙧𝙤𝙗𝙗 International under the brand name Crystal. We as 𝙂𝙧𝙤𝙗𝙗, we as a company, we are really blessed to be part of this campaign. And I want to appreciate Rotary for coming up with this campaign. We pledge to support you and continue supporting you. Allow me to talk about 𝙂𝙾𝙀𝙾 International. We are the makers of Crystal Water, Crystal Natural Mineral Water. We are the makers of energy drinks like 𝙃𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗 and 𝑋-Energy. We also have CSDs. CSDs, those are carbonated soft drinks. We make Lavita, Skyview. We have a wide range of products there. We also make biscuits. We have the premium biscuits, digestives, Jenga biscuits, shortcakes. Then we have, apparently we started making confection. We've entered that business of confectionery. We have sweets. We have over 40 SKUs under confectionery. Yes, and we know that competition is stiff out there, and we want to target all areas and harvest something. What I want to assure the general public, the people, our people, tomorrow, we shall have enough water at all the water points, like they have, the President has mentioned them. We shall have enough water to drink. We shall also have a selling point at the starting point, at the MTN center. We shall have all the products there, Honor, Rock Boom, because people need to energize, to bring back energy in their body. So we shall have all the products there for sale. But for water, we shall give out free. Thank you so much.
No biscuits.
And biscuits, yeah.
Thank you so much. Our partners, Crystal Water. I want to use this opportunity to also thank our other partners, Parliament of Uganda, who donated 900 million towards this cause. We want to thank Centenary Bank for donating 300 million. We want to thank TASO for offering a whole medical team and their bed and all equipment required for the cancer screening tomorrow. I also want to inform the members that we shall have free HIV testing and counseling on site. Then I want to thank UPDF. They'll be giving us security on the run and also at the venue. We want to thank the Uganda Police, especially Masindi branch. Thank you so much. Christian Sounds is also a partner, and also Dr. Florence, woman MP, who has contributed towards this run in a special way. Lastly but not least is the entire media fraternity of Masindi. Allow me speak in Renewal because I know we also have viewers who are Banyoro. Abouganda ababaire nibatubuliriza kandi nimutwale kiro kya leero mukubamanyisa ngu ekiro kya nyenkya kya sabiiti okutandika essaawa 12 mukichweka tujja kuba ntwesololeza MTN grounds our MTN service center. Tujja kwesoloza kuruga essaawa 12 mpaka ssaawa 1 hagati mu bwire obwo tujja kuba ntweyandikisa amabala gaitu. Then tujja kuwanika kandi tugurukagurukamu kutagasa emibirabo kuba tujja kuba tugenda kwiruka engende zikwawukana. Emisinde egenda kwirukibwa hariho omusinde gwa 5 kilometers, hariho abagenda kwiruka kilomita 10, hariho n'abagenda kwiruka kilomita 21. Abantu abalaba nibayiruka hakika leko kyonyine MTN hajja kuba hariho tiimu y'abadaktari abagenda kuba nibakeberera busa kansa eya nyina kansa ya nyinenda na kansa ya mabere. Abakwenda kubakebera kansa ya mabere bajja kuba nibakeberera busa uburaba nibakukebera by physical examination batakukozesa ultrasound. Hati then abakuba nibetaaga kubakebera nibakozesa ebyuma bya kalimagezi jakuba nosasula mutwalo gumu nekichweka gwonka batusaliraho sente nyingi muna bwa services. Then abasajja tujja kuba tukebera kansa ya prostate busa abantu abarabanza kuhika 20. Abakyala bo inywena muije hariho facilities ezikumala kukebeza abakyala kansa ya nyinenda ne kansa ya mabeere. Then abagenda kuiruka roots bazitugambire batulabize mbikale bitugenda kulabamu sinkwenda kubigaruka mbaye tujja kwa sharing tujja kwa ntukozesa emitendere kwawukana ku maps zine abantu bagenda kuba ne babonderera obalaba ne bayiruka. Then ekikusembayo tukubasaba nnyo namwije okweteraniza ha misinde eno okusasula emitwalo 3 yonka noyefunira ka vest. President waitu nkwatugambire emitwalo 3 ey'okusasula tokugula lugoye habwokuba okusobola agenda mu dduka noegwire esaati habwokuba ekiteteeya kyawe kirungi muno ekikira novesti buno. Emitwalo yawe gy'esatu ey'okusasula egenda kuyamba Abannayuganda bonna abalwaire kansa n'abalirwala kuba balina ekikalo namere bakusobola kwirukira bafune obujjanjabi obukusoboka. So mwebale muno tujja kuba tubalinzire nyenkya etiimu y'abadakitari egenda kuba mpaka ssaawa 6 mutyo muno mwebale muno mukama abaho omugisa. On behalf of the Rotary Club of Masindi, we want to thank you so much for joining us and for watching up to this point. We want to thank you so much for listening up to this point. We will look forward to a very huge turn-up tomorrow as we continue to fight against cancer and also as we continue to raise awareness that together we can beat cancer in Uganda and in the entire world. Thank you so much.